Okay. Yeah.
見ないで。
あ、見ない。
ダメだ。
お、なるほど。
選ぶのダメです。
Sorry.
What is that?
Not looking. If I may ask you.
The Future Innovators Summit is a new creative system to develop ideas and prototypes for the future. It's based on 3 steps: unlock the creative energy, facilitate the creative process, and extract creative questions. People from all over the world are brought together. This is where artists, designers, scientists, social activists, and young startup entrepreneurs meet. So, how does the summit get started? First, a unique location and an inspirational artistic environment is provided to support the professional facilitators in structuring the process for the innovators, who'll be working with each other and their audience. The following and final step is to invite professional creators and innovators as mentors. Basically, the innovators get divided up into 6 groups. Each day starts with a public breakfast, where these groups have the chance to present and discuss their ideas and projects. Their lunch consists of meeting and exchanging their ideas with the mentors, continued by themed, facilitated working sessions in the afternoon, and tea time to present their results as well as network with others. These meetings are not meant to happen behind closed doors. The audience gets invited to participate.
My name is Aphrodite Psara.
Agnes Eisleitner.
Sanchal Tiwari.
Cecile Lapoire.
Fermi Serrano.
It's Hannah Judge.
Harold.
It's Anna Clements.
Ivan Klimek.
Jude Mukundani.
It's Kathleen McDermott.
Kim Jong-un. Markus Schmeiduch.
Melissa Mondiat.
Kelly Snook.
Nova Jan.
Oskar Punimo.
Samira Hat.
Julie Utrianen.
Angela Ogantala.
A multidisciplinary artist.
Entrepreneur and student.
A researcher in particle physics.
Physicist working at CERN.
I work for the University of Zaragoza.
I'm one of the co-founders of Broad Street Maps.
CEO of Excalibur.
Artist and researcher.
Artist. Interaction designer.
Interaction design.
A freelance music technologist and a musician, music producer.
Artist.
CEO and president of Food Ring.
Now I work at CERN in Geneva.
I'm a researcher of interactive media.
Here I am at the Ars Electronica Festival as a future innovator in the Future Innovators Summit.
One key to the success of the Future Innovators Summit is the selection process, which was in this case started with artists from the Ars Electronica community and entrepreneurs from the Young Innovators competition, followed by an open call which brought in a range of creative minds with bright ideas from around the world.
What I want to talk about just very briefly is about creative coding. So for the last few years I've been using those.
So we make the magic happen in Spark Supply. Also, how
company, and that company creates products and services, which are then bought by the consumer.
The right direction and where is the nearest evacuation center, or point where the accident.
In one of the detector, which is the closest to the interaction point, pixel detector. there was something going on that fascinated me.
Overview image. This is actually an image that we're sending only one UAV to deliver all
In a way
the...
that we want to keep as many listeners.
Sando, initially not responding to the person's emails, was now suddenly interested. It got out
to the radio. So how it works is that you have different
Space color. We have to change the something.
This is really nice.
Why we have to change?
Mama's boy.
No way.
Mother's boy.
No.
Somebody posted this thing on the website.
Mama's boy.
The goal is here to make a creative question. I wonder what that is. And there's very few steps to it. 3 steps actually. It's pick an egg, discuss about it, and discuss more about it. And here are your eggs. And you can see that there are little papers in here. And here are themes that actually we've collected from with the website. It was on the Ars Electronica website, and people have been submitting in things that they like to change. And we're going to discuss if we'd like to change that or not. So how we're going to do it, I'm going to, just to exercise, I am going to pick just one egg. And see what's in it. It says Olympics for all. And we're going to discuss why do we need to change Olympics for all? Why do we need to change Olympics? But if it's a difficult question, or if we decide that Olympics can stay, we'll go to pick another egg.
In the Future Innovators Summit, facilitators play a very important role. Their mission is to act as translators between participants with different backgrounds, as well as the audience. In addition, extracting the creative questions is as essential as solving real social issues, which means that facilitators can also be catalysts.
The mentors, they are kind of senior innovators, like Hiroshi, Golan Levin, Joachim Sauter,
Brad Paxton, Golan Levin.
I'm Robert Madeline.
Hiroshi Ishii,
Joachim Sauter.
Worked at Eastman Kodak Company for 32 years.
New media artist. A Director General dealing with technology in the European Commission in Brussels.
MIT Media Lab.
I'm a media artist, media designer.
We need this really, our unique physical environment together. And also this time we try to use the City of Links as a background. So all about creating the new meeting setting.
The voice of innovation in European society is almost inaudible. So anything that brings innovators together and that gets their voice amplified is crucial. And this sort of summit is exactly what we need. So what the mentor session taught me, firstly, I came to be given mentoring by innovators because I don't do innovation as a profession. I need to learn from them. I think what I heard was, above all, that the path to innovation is still full of obstacles. And I think what I take away from that is we are right to say, as we do in Brussels, that we need a pro-innovation principle in the way we run our society. That doesn't mean laissez-faire, it doesn't mean being inattentive to any risks. Risks can exist, but let's innovate, find the risks and manage them, rather than saying let's not innovate because we're scared.
My experience from the whole day today, while working with people from different backgrounds, is that it's very interesting. It really helps you think outside the box and see how people from other disciplines are reacting to this brainstorming about the future idea.
For us, there was education, aging, what did we have? Even Olympics when the topic was Olympics, and it really led to very political questions.
So the question that we formulated is, can we create a self-learned educational system? Like a system that kind of creates a feedback loop and updates itself in order to serve its user needs in a way. It's not gonna be a maybe realistic answer. It's gonna be more like kind of science fiction story.
When we were talking about education and also when we were getting to know each other, the reason why we all came to Ars Electronica was actually to be stimulated and learn from other participants. To formulate our question, we actually decided to use a speculative approach and to look into the future, 10 years from now on.
In this near future environment, we got inspired by the work of a great science fiction writer, Neil Stephenson, and his novel The Diamond Age, where he talks about a machine called Matter Compiler. And this machine could be like an evolution of a 3D printer and the whole maker movement and digital fabrication things that are happening right now. So maybe in some years from now, we are able to construct the machines, but then the machines would do all the work for us.
Looking as well at the situation a little bit further down the line, this even applies to current situation. We are writing less by hand. We are mostly writing through mobile devices and computers. We have autocorrection, so we're not really stimulated to learn proper spelling and proper grammar anymore. We're also cooking, well, we're cooking less. I would say the knowledge of making proper food is declining, and that certainly is going to be the trend going forward. And we're making less with our own hands. And we decided to throw this statement in there. We are not inspired to learn because of all this. So again, how can we stimulate learning?
Maybe in the future we could use virtual technologies, like in the case of Be Another Lab, the installation that is being exhibited at the Ars Electronica Center, and use virtual technologies to experience someone else's life.
But all these virtual realities or digital solutions we might have in future, but what we need, we all know, we need more micro-sabbatical. We need more time. We need money. We shouldn't feel bad of getting holiday and travel and meet people here. Knowledge should not be frozen. It should be alive. It should be evolving. Thank you. Danke.
I think I'm very impressed because this is exactly the right thing to do. Especially the art is the most powerful engine of inventions, innovations, and also creating new paradigms. It's not a technology, it's not a business, but the desire of the artist to inspire people should be the center. Of course, meeting young artists and designers who has a very edgy idea is always such a pleasure for me. But also those work inspire me. So this course we had this morning was very, very exciting and stimulating. One thing I thought is also a lot of the prior work, amazing work done 10 years ago, 20 years ago, or even 50 years ago. So if young artists do some research about prior work, then think about original contributions, new contribution, rather than reinventing the wheel using a new technology. That would even improve the quality of the work. The message I wanted to convey to them.
Yesterday we brainstormed with the eggs, and there were keywords in there. which were about the government, about the bold was one of them, and one was space colony or something.
We tried to address some big topics, like huge problems, save the world and stuff like that, and in a creative and ideally, I hope, funny way, address them and make them a little bit more visible to the community.
The question is, how can we encourage boldness in individuals to become responsible citizens?
And you've got an answer.
Do you have an answer?
So we found a Bold Academy. It's a PhD program for 30 days. And afterwards you're bold once finished with the Bold Academy. So, first of all, what is boldness? What does it mean to be bold? If I ask you right now, who of you likes to come out to me and sing like an opera star? Oh, there are 2 volunteers. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Being bold helps you to overcome self-imposed barriers and implement change. Often good ideas are never realized because people are simply afraid to ask or go out and tell people about their ideas and test them in reality. To encourage people to become bold, we have created the Bold Academy. It is a 30-day degree program. It is the PhD in boldness. The program is not recognized in any country, just to say it.
Our academy is portable. How? In your phone. So what you could do is to install our app right now, enroll, take on bold challenges, and graduate.
Hey, please speak up. Please speak up. Hey, please speak up. No. Yes, no. Yes, please speak up.
No.
Hey, please speak up. How are you? How are you?
Thank you for asking because I am not okay. My boyfriend didn't show up. I'm waiting for him for 2 hours here and he doesn't show up. I'm so glad that you are here so that he gets jealous that I don't have money to buy new clothes. I don't earn enough money. 1,500 euros is not enough money, And my mother is always telling me to get married,
Money.
Thank you so much for asking. I feel much better now. Most important thing is it's for sure that you would get employed after you get the PhD. Second thing is that our alumni are actually performing random acts of boldness and then they post them on our bold alumni community so that they can encourage other people to also perform those acts of boldness or similar acts of boldness. In return to that, they get karma points. After joining Bold Academy, many people learned what boldness means. Our alumni designed a project called 4D Joystick to enable disabled children to be bold enough to play with other kids while enjoying a complete independence to do so. Visit the 3rd floor gymnasium for further information. For this project, our alumni achieved 102 karma points from the community.
The idea is to emphasize on the fact that it is important to be responsible, but it is important also to be bold, to show your responsibility. Because most of the times we come up with good ideas, great ideas, but we think it's so crazy. I can't be the next person who brings about the change that is required. But we want to emphasize that it is possible. You just need to be bold enough to do that.
So, the quickest way to graduation is our patent-pending iPhone quick draw system.
Hello, moshi moshi. Ah, arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you, thank you.
Well, it's a wonderful idea. I loved hearing the young people with their creative ideas, but these people are innovating these new ways of doing it. The virtual camera, the touchy camera, the body armor, the gloves that make music, all this stuff has a common theme of connecting people and technology. My main message to them was, do not be discouraged. People are going to tell you, what good is that? They're going to say, it's too big or too clumsy or too slow, or too expensive or too... People initially have negative reaction to new ideas, but I'm telling them, ignore these people, okay? Innovation is going to continue anyway, and you stay committed to it, stay passionate about it, and you will succeed, but don't quit.
It's a very, very nice interdisciplinary international working where a lot of ideas collide and create new ideas, and I think it's really fascinating and inspiring.
And we very quickly centered on the question of how we bring democracy. Democracy is a difficult word, but how we empower people to make choices and to affect change themselves at the local level.
Because we imagine in many situations in conflict zones, local communities, they don't necessarily have a voice.
How a decision making or change making can be voted or elected by different people in all classes, and how can we create a platform or a world for people to voice out their opinion.
So we decided to do a case study just in Linz. It's a little bit silly, but for fun and to illustrate our point, we've started telling people around the festival that some of the artwork has been destroyed. We want to see how people will suggest to solve the problem, as opposed to politicians or someone in a higher position.
How to empower people to be agents, to think of themselves as agents of change within their own communities.
Okay, so what we discussed is why.
One moment, sir. We need to confer here. One moment. Right. So we just got breaking news that several pieces of artwork have been destroyed here at Ars Electronica. And so we've just sent our team out to do a little bit of discussion on the street with people to see how they think and feel. Are we able to get a feed?
So I don't know if you've heard, but a couple pieces in the exhibition have actually been destroyed. We believe it happened within the last hour, and we've heard that it may have been a group of artists from Vienna. So we're trying to get more information. Do you know anything about this?
No. Why would they do that?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out. And we also would like to know, what do you think we should do? Should we retaliate? Should we prosecute them?
Oh, poor Eric. Oh no, what's happened?
me as a project manager would be extremely important. When does this happen?
Yeah, I think it's pretty shocking that somebody steals it because it's a festival for everybody and everyone. A lot of people come here, tourists and everything, and I think it's really bad that someone just takes advantage of this. And
it's the first time I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's sort of breaking news. We're wondering if you've heard anything or how you feel about it.
Why?
Why did they do it? Yeah, we don't know at this time. Do you have any guess?
Why should somebody destroy art?
So did you hear that some of your art has been destroyed in the dome? That somebody destroyed your art?
Somebody destroyed art?
Yes, your art. The flying records.
Ja.
Somebody was.
Aber bei Künstlern ist immer Meinungsverschiedenheit möglich. Sie wissen ja verschiedenste Auffassungen.
Well, I think that's pretty bad. I mean, I don't know if there's any possibility to have some securities up front to avoid this. Because what I learned is that we will have a security here for the night, so that will probably help. That's vandalism is.
I don't think you can't prevent something like this if you want to keep the festival open and bring it to the people. It's just, you have to trust in people and hope that something like this won't happen again.
What can I do? How can I help? Do you know who should I contact?
In regards to helping?
Yeah.
We're looking into that, so we could let you know in a couple minutes.
Okay.
But so you're not curious at all about who's done it?
I think in the moment it's better just to save somehow the exhibition because we're in a festival.
Entschuldigung, dürfen wir eine Frage stellen?
Bitte.
Wir haben...
Nein. Okay.
Okay.
Right, so that's the word on the street. Our flow is a little bit disrupted here, but we do have now confirmation from police that it was the Vienna Art Conference activists that have done this destruction, and some first official reactions have come in that ARS is saying 35 years and now this, and Vienna was always jealous, but this goes really too far. Cultural funding for Vienna and Linz is now kind of on hold, and possible Austrian exclusion from any UNESCO summits coming up. This is a bit ridiculous, but we were discussing what if there were an app, or what are the mechanisms, I guess, to empower people on a more local level to connect, the ones that are really being affected, to connect to things with global and eventually global implications.
You should move.
So this is the big reveal that Eric is not dead.
You ready? Yes, just one more second.
I'm very excited.
But so yes, this is an exercise we did yesterday. We thought we'd walk around Linz and talk to people, try to convince them that some of the work in the festival had been stolen or destroyed, and see what kind of responses we get. I'm really impressed by all the people in the festival. Their responses are always so calm and measured. Although it's possible they didn't believe me. What happens when you get the opinion of the larger group?
But we want to make a really local thing. Huh? We really want something that affects us right now as a community. How do we know that we can trust this? How do we know that this emergency voting is really coming from the source where we think it's coming from? How can you make sure that everybody votes once? How do you make sure that everybody's informed in time?
So that's it. Thank you.
It's super interesting. I think if you have the chance as a young innovator or someone who is working in a hybrid world, being together with other ones, it can encourage you, because out of my experience when I was young and a young innovator, there was nothing like that. So I was always very insecure in what I'm doing. So I had to find my security out of myself. And here they can really come together and see that they're on the right track in their life. Yeah, you know, if you're talking with this kind of people in that stage of their career, it's always also a backflash for you because you remember how you had been at that time, and that's always very interesting moment for one, seeing, okay, this is the delta from that time to now, and how is the delta from now to the end? This is always something which forces you to question yourself.
Yeah, so we had a really lively discussion yesterday, prompted by all of these little keywords.
Do you know the question? What can we know what singularity means to humanity?
That maybe we need not set the answer. All we have to set is how to think, how to approach to the answer.
We couldn't really decide on one solution, so in our performance tonight, we're exploring the process of coming up with a solution rather than presenting a solution, which I think is going to be a little bit different than the rest of the groups.
So we're focusing on the topic of singularity, this idea of the moment when artificial intelligence will surpass human intelligence. And a lot of our conversation focused on whether this would be a good thing or a bad thing and what it would mean for humanity. And it was difficult for us to come up with a clear answer of what that would mean. So we're going to involve the audience in the exploration of what it will mean.
By singularity, we mean the point at which technologies surpass human capabilities. So after a lot of discussion, we came to the conclusion that we couldn't answer this question ourselves, so we were going to ask the audience to help us do so. So what you're going to see on this stage is a series of couple forms. It's one of the keywords that we had before. You're going to see a form A and form B. And what I want you to do is to stand by the side of the form that you feel is more human. So now I'm going to ask for 14 participants from the audience. So if you could raise your hands. All right, so we're going to kick off the first round. Ding! Okay, so it's time for round 2 now. Ding! I know, ding, 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 ding. So you stand at A or B, the thing that you feel is most human.
So I decided this one because it has a back like humans, so same part of the body, different reason.
I chose it because it's closer to the human height.
Ding, ding.
I chose B because there was eye contact and, yeah, so a lot of more expression.
She was looking at us so mean. I don't know. I was just like, I'm not going on your side.
Pain. Looked like pain.
So here's the 4th round. Stand by the side that you feel is most human, not the one you have the most empathy towards.
So that was like really slowly eating. I've never seen anybody like eating like that. And this is how I have seen everybody sleeping. So.
Before an audience, you wouldn't eat, probably. This way. You would laugh, probably. But if you were to sleep, you would sleep this way.
Also, and this is completely geek world stuff, we haven't figured out a proper mechanical reason for sleep. Sleep is something that's inherently biological, whereas eating is in theory like it could be part of a mechanical process.
I chose him because he looks so relaxed and he's eating his chocolate bar and hands in pocket, and I think that's the life.
Well, I think actually both are pretty human, but I thought of addiction right away. And I think addiction is a pretty human trait.
I actually was thinking the opposite of you in terms of eating. I was thinking about all the biological processes involved in eating and the digestion and the chewing and that robots actually don't need to eat, whereas I would power down my computer every night, and I thought maybe that it was the complexity of eating that was more human.
For me, it was just a little detail. When he put it in his mouth, he was first smelling it with a nose. So.
Well, for the last round, we asked that when you do make your decision about which group is more human, that you please join in on the activity.
Innovation is something that always happens. The evolution of society is. We did evolve. We are evolving, and of course we are heading for a better society. I don't think that once was better than now. I know people say once was much better. It's not true. So when you talk, when you speak, you don't learn nothing. When you listen, you learn. So I spoke most of the time, so most of the time I didn't learn. I said things that I already know. But I asked a couple of questions were interesting. Like the guy who asked, how do I want to be remembered? I never thought the way I want to be remembered. Who cares? I will be dead, so.
We got some interesting topics from USA, sex, to power.
We've discussed the problem. Now the solution is the tough part. So we've spent the day discussing the problem. We try to come up with a solution. Now I think we need some more time to firm up the solution. So we're right in the middle of deciding what we need to come out with.
Our question was, what was our question? The question was, how can we empower people through productive conflicts? So we went back to this, trying to focus more on the productive conflicts. And you see how they could become conversation starters, working in the urban environment. We would like to introduce to you our idea. We would like to invite 2 participants to try our power seats. Hey, I danced yesterday, so please. Okay, so now our power seats have detected your presence, and they have declared you. And we'd like to know how you feel.
Feels pretty good owning Russia.
This is a tough spot.
Now, how about this? How do you like this kind of power?
Well, yeah.
We're prototype. This is a live prototyping exercise, we have to say.
It feels good to be the king.
All right. Okay, so now we'll need a 3rd participant.
Powerful.
I can do this.
Self-secure. And do you want to talk to each other? Barak, is there something you would like to say to Vlad? Come here. And this is everything I could say. All right. Vlad, would you like to reply?
Come here and say that to my face.
I do that to your face.
Perhaps there's some way we may be of service in helping.
Awesome. All right. Thank you. This was a live prototype session.
So the idea is to insert these possibilities for difficult conversations to happen into public space. So we thought about having seats in bus stops that could automatically detect your presence and LED displays that would assign you a row. And obviously this would change depending on which city you're in. In some cities, there's could be a lot of disagreement between different communities about certain topics. And it's a way for you to engage in productive conflict where you, instead of avoiding the people who think differently from you, you engage with them and then you hopefully, you might not necessarily agree, but something will change in your mind.
So if we were to make a beta version, we'd start with some screens, some sensors, some good internet connection, and pulling from the news that are happening in that day, we would elect some superpowers. And as people sit down, they become these personas. So both to see first, starting with the jokes, seeing what the kind of conversations can come from that, and the sense of awareness of what's happening around us. We like Beyonce. And also seeing with others, the passerby, that are not necessarily taking a seat, what's their reaction and how they can come in the game. That will be interesting. So we'd like to do this prototype maybe one day, if we meet again in the same city. Thank you.
Today I'm here because I'm serving as a mentor for the next generation of young innovators and future innovators who are just starting out their careers. I wish I could have more time to engage with them, to give them help, and to learn from them. It's a really fantastic idea to kind of have a structured environment in which to meet media artists, if you want to call them that broadly speaking, from the previous generation or from the who've been working in the field for a while to kind of get their wisdom. And I also think that it's great for us as the mentors to see the ways in which people are so energetically carrying on things we started and taking it into directions we couldn't have predicted. The fact that the Ars Electronica is gathering together the innovators with the mentors brings even more value to the situation of one as a gathering place.
We are really, really inspired by Ars Electronica. The first impression I had was entering through a commercial center to a festival. I said, wow, what I'm doing here. I didn't expect that.
So we just today started our session and we actually had to only pick one egg and one word.
That was system. So we were opening discussion, thought-provoking the others, and that was very nice. We emerged to some key questions ourselves, and we tried to select one of them.
And we came up with almost 200 ideas, but we couldn't make that final selection, which is the best one. So now we're taking a creative break and trying to loosen up a little bit during the night, and then tomorrow we're going to get back and come up with what we're going to present. We'd like to ask for 4 volunteers. What we're going to do is we're going to place our hands like this, and then you kind of run your fingers over the index finger with your eyes closed. Can you see their faces? Something a little weird might be going on. I think you should try with the people sitting next to you. How does it feel?
Crazy.
How did you feel?
My finger doesn't feel like mine.
And about you?
Yeah, it's a little disorienting.
Disorienting. How does it feel disorienting?
Similar to what she said, it's hard to recognize where you're ending.
Freezing the limits in spatial. Did you have some experiences?
I felt like I'm feeling his feeling.
What was the point of this? Was it to maybe make you ask some questions, maybe feel something weird, maybe there was confusion about what's going on? You might have wondered, are these guys on drugs? Why are they asking us to do this? What kind of hand lotion they're wearing, because it's really nice, it feels nice. So if you had any questions in your mind, it might have been linked to something called curiosity.
So we started thinking about the curiosity itself, what it is, and how could it be controlled. So we came to a kind of solution for the future, or a kind of device which we call curiosity controller. And at the end it reflects the feeling that, the idea we have to help people to keep to be curious during life. But well, we have one expert, it's A, who already has it, and he's going to.
Okay, I make this now.
So primarily this experiment is the curiosity controller. So A is going to show when it's set to high curiosity. A, are you curious? So at this moment, A is very curious. Curious about his hand, curious about what's around him. And we believe curiosity inspires experimentation, which inspires innovation, and the willingness to advance and create new forms that would advance society. So curiosity is a good thing. Yeah. So next, A will demonstrate apathy when there's no curiosity. A, no curiosity. All the way down, all the way down. Disinterest, apathy, uninterested in anything, no advancement, stagnation, no innovation, no stimulation, no productivity. So, what we're saying is, in the future, we may have this kind of thing, nanotechnology, like he said. Okay, so primarily, we believe it's interesting to know what we were all curious about. What were those dreams and possibilities we had? When I was a child, there was a time I thought I could make an airplane. And these are the little seeds of curiosity that leads to advancement, that leads to innovation. Yeah, that's it.
It's fantastic. There's so much going on. Every day we have a pretty packed schedule, and when we have free time, we can visit any of the events around the festival. So for me, I guess I consider myself an emerging artist to some degree. I recently finished my MFA, so it's a great opportunity to see so many established artists and artworks, as well as scientists and researchers. I mean, I love how at the festival they don't necessarily make a distinction. Their works are often presented side by side.
It just always boggles my mind how big the festival is and how many people are going through it. And it's like an extremely complicated machine where I can't really see. I'm just a small part of the machine.
It's very important for people to have a consciousness of what they're doing, rather than to do, a lot of times in history, art is just for art itself. And I like that here, we're not just thinking about art or technology for their own sake, we're thinking about them in the context of social and economic, even sustainability and with respect to larger questions in life and in the world and in social spheres.
Using this stage of the festival also for a conference summit, bring together different professions from across the world which are colliding here at the festival, and to create, to use these 2 days as output and exchange for creating new ideas. I think it's the perfect setting.
I really feel this is a fantastic way of bringing together like really diverse people with diverse backgrounds, and there's so many things that you can see and you can learn and experience here. So it really is, I think, a very good platform to bring together artists and scientists and all. And actually, this is the first time that I'm being called an artist.
To be honest, I didn't assume so much about the final outcomes. Rather, I really wished the best process and also enjoyment in Linz. But when we saw their presentations from 6 groups, of course, with a combination with the environment, first presentation was in the bank, in Sparkasse, and the second was in Oka, so Ulsrinenhof, and today here, cinema. And with this combination, they reacted well to prepare the nice presentation, and all are really unique ways to present, but very telling us the really clear and very innovative answers for what it takes to change.
So we have to realize that everybody has to take have to have the sense of this responsibility being part of a humanity.